Alright, welcome back. My name is bradyONE, and this is my commentary for the 2026 Defeat Ganon World Record. A couple of nights ago after work, I got a message in Discord from K-Row saying he had found an even faster method of warping to Ganon that saved around 9 full seconds over the previous method. Him and another speedrunner had already started doing attempts with the new strategy, so I knew I needed to act fast and start doing some runs. Usually after a new discovery like this, it will take me somewhere between weeks or even months for me to get a time that I'm satisfied with. However, in this case, I was lucky enough to get a very solid run after just a few hours of attempts. This is going to be the run I'll be showing off to you guys today. This is the new current fastest completion of the final boss of Ocarina of Time, a full 10-second improvement over my previous world record. Now, it's important for me to mention that this route is going to have a lot of similarities to the previous record I got in 2025, which I will link in the description, but I'll cover a few of the core mechanics here in case you haven't seen the first video. In this run, I'll be obtaining a total of 4 items, a sword, a shield, Deku Nuts, and a Deku Stick. I'm on my way to the sword right now, but the sword and shield are primarily just used to move Mido out of the way, so that's going to take up a good chunk of the run. The reason why I need to clear Mido out of the way is in order for me to do a trick called Stale Reference Manipulation, also known as SRM for short, which I'll discuss more of in a bit. For now, what you need to know is I'm going to be collecting a total of 55 rupees throughout Kokiri Forest before entering the shop, so that way I have enough rupees to buy a Deku Shield and Deku Nuts. The bushes I cut outside this crawl space are going to be vital for me to get a good run. In order to be able to buy Deku Shield and Deku Nuts in a timely manner, I need to get enough rupees, which is a 1 in 7 chance. However, this run I get extremely lucky getting up to 30 rupees in just 6 bushes. This is a 1 in 100 chance, meaning this is an extremely rare run. Because of this, I'm extremely nervous going into Bridge Flip, but luckily I'm able to get the frame perfect input to be able to clip my way through the bridge. Because of the extra rupees I got from cutting grass, I'm able to bypass a small section of rupees in the long grass and make my way straight over to the shop. I was able to successfully line up a jump slash through this text box here, so I'm able to move while the text begins. I failed that last world record, so I was super happy to get it this time. As I'm buying Deku Nuts and a Deku Shield for the upcoming tricks, this is a good time for me to talk about the SRM I'm going to be doing, as it's a little bit different than the way that it was done in the previous world record. If you're very observant, you would have noticed that the Japanese file name I'm using is different from the previous run. This route was made much faster completely due to this change in file name. I will still be doing light node SRM here, which works by hijacking a function responsible for managing lights in the game and overwriting it with our own values. Each character in the Japanese file name actually relates to a hexadecimal value in 1 byte of the code. With this, the file name itself effectively becomes a way of injecting bytes into the memory. By carefully choosing the characters in the file name, we can control which hexadecimal values get written and where they end up getting written in the game's memory. I just did a glitch here called Return A. It locks the camera in place by pressing Z, Shield, and C up all on the same frame. I also got a Deku Stick while I was in the hallway to kill Ganon later. Now I'm making my way to the crawl space. I did accidentally fall into the pond there, which lost me about a second. Really, that was the only minor time loss I had the entire run. By entering this crawl space and rapidly mashing A when I exit, I'm able to make it so I get a glitch called Walking While Talking. I'm able to have a free camera because of the Return A glitch I did, and now I have to pause here in order to prevent a soft lock, so I equipped my Deku Stick during the pause. Now I make my way over to pick up a very specific rock, which in this run I actually did a really good job of picking up the rock quickly. This snaps the camera back to the sign and it unloads it in Link's hands. By navigating back to the hallway, I'm able to have it so the camera will snap back to Link, and the game will completely unload the rock, but without it realizing it's unloaded, so it's going to keep copying the position and rotation data, even though it doesn't exist anymore, and it's now referring to another place in memory. By dropping this at a very precise angle, we're able to use the file name to complete the writes with light node. This run saves all the time over the previous run by corrupting a polygon very close to Link, so that way we can void out and almost immediately go to Ganon right after finishing the light node. So you're probably wondering what just happened there, and I want to explain it a little bit more clearly than I did last time, so I'm actually going to pause the timer here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about what just happened. Light node SRM always does two writes. The first word of the file name gets written to where the second points, and the second gets written to where the first points. Last time we only used one write, but this time we're going to be using both. Same as last time, we're going to be making it so when we load out of Kokiri Forest, we load into Ganon Battle Scene. For this write, we're going to be overwriting at the place where the first word of the file name points to, which points to the Kokiri Forest from the shop, which is where you normally go when you void out. We replace that with the last byte of the file name here, which is 4F, since 4F is the scene ID for the Ganon battle scene. Lucky for us, the first 3 bytes of the second word of the file name don't actually matter for the first write, so we can use the second word of the file name to point to the polygon we're looking to corrupt in order to fall into the void faster. Now there is a ton of polygons in Kokiri Forest that contain 4F, so it's not a huge coincidence that Cairo found one that would work, but it is, however, a coincidence that it's so close to where we finished the SRM. Once again, huge shoutouts to Cairo for not just finding this file name, but also helping me a lot with the explanation for this video. He has a way better understanding of this game from a technical side than I do, so shoutouts to Cairo for the help making this video. Now you'll notice I just did a jump slash with the Deku stick into this cutscene. This is because the Deku stick actually shares the same damage values as the Master Sword, so a jump slash with the Deku stick does 4 damage, just like a jump slash with the Master Sword does 4 damage. Now, most damage values like the Bigoron Sword get reset down for this fight, but luckily the Deku Stick does not, since there's no way for you to be able to use it during this fight in a normal playthrough. The reason why I do this jump slash before the cutscene is because as soon as the fight begins, I'm going to be doing the Infinite Sword Glitch, and the Infinite Sword Glitch deals the exact same damage of your previous attack every single frame. Conveniently for me, even though I never got the Master Sword, the game assumes you should still have it and hits it out of your hands, so I'll be able to use that later on to deal the final blow to Ganon, which is the only thing that can finish Ganon off. I perform the Infinite Sword Glitch here to store the correct damage value and begin running between Ganon's legs to hit the bottom of his tail. Now this phase here is intended to be done with weapons that don't deal as much damage as the Master Sword, so it only takes 3 hits to complete. Now that I've finished phase 1, I'm going to run over to the Master Sword from Zelda, so that way I can deal the final blow to Ganon and start phase 2. The second phase of the Ganon fight is very similar to the first. I'm going to run over and perform a quick jump slash on Ganon before doing the Infinite Sword Glitch one last time. This was a fairly clean Ganon fight, as luckily I was able to get ISG first try both times. This second phase takes 5 hits. After dealing the final hit to Ganon, the only thing left to do was deal one last finishing blow with the Master Sword, which so conveniently got hit out of my hands. All I do at this point is I hold directly between left and down left, and mash B as fast as I can, so that way hopefully I'm not going to miss the final slash. There it is, the final boss of the game defeated in 6 minutes and 47 seconds on original hardware done in real time. Thank you for watching this updated 2026 world record defeat Ganon speedrun. Like I mentioned earlier, it's very rare for me to get a run I'm happy with this quickly. This was only the second run of the day that got good enough RNG to even be able to continue to try to go for world record. For context, I estimate I did somewhere in the range between 500 and 1,000 attempts on the last defeat Ganon world record I got, whereas this one I was able to get it in just about 2 hours. I expect another top runner named Amate Seru to likely be able to take this record back in the near future, so I'm not sure how long this record's going to last, but I'm personally very happy with this run, and I have zero plans on coming back to this category unless a new route is found. If you enjoyed this commentary, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I love making videos like this, and I love doing speedruns like this, so any support really goes a long ways. Also, if you like Defeat Ganon speedrunning and are considering trying speedrunning Defeat Ganon for yourself, I have some really exciting news. We're going to be holding a Defeat Ganon Classic Kakariko route speedrunning tournament. If you're familiar with the old Any%, it's the same route that Any% used to be back in 2013, 2014. It's open to players of all abilities, so if you're interested at all, I'll include a sign-up form in the description of this video, as well as a link to the Ocarina of Time speedrunning Discord, which has resources to learn the route. Thank you, everyone. I hope you all have an amazing day.